Biochemistry or biological chemistry is the study of chemical processes within and relating to living organisms. A subdiscipline of both chemistry and biology, biochemistry may be divided into three fields: structural biology, enzymology, and metabolism. Around 2 dozen chemical elements are essential to various kinds of biological life. Most rare elements on Earth are not needed by life, while a few common ones are not used. Most organisms share element needs, but there are a few differences between plants and animals. Independence is a condition of a nation, country, or state in which residents and population, or some portion thereof, exercise self-government and usually sovereignty over its territory. Digital world means connected by the help of digital devices, media, or we can say digital marketing services that are available to everyone at any time. It is the world full of ideas, opinions, learning and opportunities. There are many methods in which we take the benefit of the digital world. Because of the digital world, people run worldwide online business. It has enhanced communication. Technology has also enhanced teaching and learning. This is just the beginning. There are many more that lies in the digital world that the previous generation couldn't even think about. Digital technology has effects all around the globe. Living in the technology age, our constant need for technology and the internet has changed everything about a person's daily life. Technology has replaced the ability for deep, meaningful thought and even the need for face-to-face human interaction. Imagine living in a world without any internet. Imagine the amount of trouble a person would require to go through in order to find out the simplest things. The internet nowadays has become an essential part of almost every human being's life. The internet could be the most valuable invention that was made in the modern age. With the force of the web, individuals basically can do anything. From learning how to cook to building a car. The possibility is endless. The modernization of the web can have positive and negative consequences on the world. It is sure in light of the fact that it gives everyone the power to access any information that they need in second. The modernization of the web can have positive and negative consequences on the world. It is sure in light of the fact that it gives everyone the power to access any information that they need in second. Almost everything we do is through social media. Job interviews, promotions, and connections are all used through social media. It seems like every week there is a new app or update that keeps us hooked. The more outlets we have through social media, the more time people spend on these websites creating their pages. People always want to have the most likes, comments, and views. We would do anything just to be socially accepted. People constantly put on a whole new identity just to reach this point. We feel the need to keep everyone involved in our lives through social media. Everybody only show parts of our lives that seem interesting or would receive many likes. You can live a completely new life through social media. Social media is slowly ruining the sense of identity. Social media allows the individual to map out their lives for the world to see, or create an entirely new and different identity. Every day people are judging and being judged by others with unique criteria that we, as inhabitants of Earth, deem necessary checkmarks to be met to afford and be afforded tokens of civility. Anxiety is your body's natural response to stress. It's a feeling of fear or apprehension about what's to come. For example, going to a job interview or giving a speech on the first day of school may cause some people to feel fearful and nervous. In the case of an anxiety disorder, the feeling of fear may be with you all the time. It's intense and sometimes debilitating. This type of anxiety may cause you to stop doing things you enjoy. Stress and anxiety are related but different. Stress is a typical and healthy reaction to an identifiable event that's making you nervous, such as an upcoming test, presentation, wedding, or other major change in your life. Happiness is a butterfly, which when pursued, is always just beyond your grasp, but which, if you will sit down quietly, may alight upon you. Only in the darkness can you see the stars.
One of the great contributing factors to mental illness is the idea that we should at all costs and at all times be well. We suffer far more than we should because of how long it can take many of us until we allow ourselves to fall properly and usefully ill. Movies are an integral part of us. They mirror what we believe and how we coexist as people. It is easier to see our concerns, attitudes, flaws and strengths in films than it is to decipher them from our daily interactions. When our prevalent beliefs and ideologies are challenged in films, we are sometimes able to interrogate ourselves and embrace change.
In this course, we will explore how such things as department stores, nationally advertised brand name goods, mass produced cars, and suburbs transformed the American economy, society, and politics. The course is organized both thematically and chronologically. Each period deals with a new development in the history of consumer culture.
Food is one of the most important things you'll ever buy. And yet most people never bother to think about their food and where it comes from. People spend a lot more time worrying about what kind of blue jeans to wear, what kind of video games to play, and what kind of computers to buy. Global Management is a program specially designed to equip students with the knowledge and skills required to become an effective leader in diverse business contexts and varied intercultural settings. The program acknowledges that contemporary markets are increasingly complex in terms of culture and demand, that information and communication are crucial for success. The development of cognitive psychology arose as psychology from different theories, and so began exploring these dynamics concerning mind and environment, starting a movement from these prior dualist paradigms that prioritized cognition as systematic computation or exclusively behavior. In one particular version of the experiment, if the subject recalled a list correctly, the list length was increased by 1 for that type of material, and vice versa if it was recalled incorrectly. The theory is that people have a memory span of about 7 items for numbers, the same for letters that sound dissimilar and short words. A participant is presented with a window that displays circles and squares scattered across it. The participant is to identify whether there is a green circle on the window. In the featured search, the subject is presented with several trial windows that have blue squares or circles and one green circle or no green circle in it at all. Aerobic and anaerobic exercise have been studied concerning cognitive improvement. There appear to be short-term increases in attention span, verbal and visual memory in some studies. However, the effects are transient and diminish over time, after cessation of the physical activity. Exposing individuals with cognitive impairment to daily activities designed to stimulate thinking and memory in a social setting seems to improve cognition. Although study materials are small, and larger studies need to confirm the results, the effect of social cognitive stimulation seems to be larger than the effects of some drug treatments. In philosophy of mind, functionalism is the thesis that each and every mental state is constituted solely by its functional role, which means its causal relation to other mental states, sensory inputs, and behavioral outputs. Functionalism developed largely as an alternative to the identity theory of mind and behaviorism. Since a mental state is identified by a functional role, it is said to be realized on multiple levels. In other words, it is able to be manifested in various systems, even perhaps computers, so long as the system performs the appropriate functions. The action of the machine is determined by the symbol in the cell being scanned and a table of transition rules that serve as the machine's programming. Because of the infinite tape, a traditional Turing machine has an infinite amount of time to compute any particular function or any number of functions. The fundamental idea of psychofunctionalism is that psychology is an irreducibly complex science and that the terms that we use to describe the entities and properties of the mind in our best psychological theories cannot be redefined in terms of simple behavioral dispositions. There may be an infinite variety of physical realizations for all of the mechanisms, but what is important is only their role in the overall biological theory. In an analogous manner, the role of mental states, such as belief and desire, is determined by the functional or causal role that is designated for them within our best scientific psychological theory. The internal contents of propositional attitudes, for example, would consist exclusively in those aspects of them which have no relation with the external world and which bear the necessary functional properties that allow for relations with other internal mental states.